The federal government should look at its tax system. In spite of all the impurities, they are going ahead to impoverish the common man, to impoverish the subnationals. We are keeping quiet.
Now the question then is what the president assented to the same as what the two houses deliberated, harmonized, and passed? If it is so, then someone has forged what is no longer a valid law, because the law that the president signed is the law that was passed, the bill that was passed by both houses. Or is it that the bill that was passed by the both houses was not what was sent to the president for assent, which means the president's assent is invalid because he assented to not what was passed by both houses?
They are a statement of national priorities. And that's how citizens take the written statements, the pronounced statements of their leaders. That one was enough for me, regardless of the questions and the concerns I had. He said, these numbers are not just accounting lines. They are a statement of national priorities.
We've seen possible executive overreach, whether in terms of the executive not following the law strictly, whether in terms of executive trying to use executive powers, executive orders of the president to undermine legislative jurisdiction, whether in the US, elsewhere in the world. But what is remarkable about this is that it touches on possible criminality in terms of forgery.
I felt I will hold my leader, my president, accountable based on just that statement on line 19. So if you look at it from that angle, I will not have any reason to be afraid of what the government is talking about, the taxes. I'm not supposed to be afraid, apart from even being a chartered accountant.
The gazetted version, quote unquote, of the tax law is not exactly what the National Assembly passed. It means that there is prima facie a case of forgery, because whoever did it and presented it as what is passed and ascertained to. There's a deeper dimension here.
On the very first day of 2026, Nigeria woke to a new reality, new taxes, new obligations, new deductions. The government called it economic reform, a measure to strengthen revenue, ensure fairness, and protect the nation's fragile economy. But behind the official announcement, a different story quietly emerged. Because buried inside Nigerians a new tax law are contradictions, hidden clauses, and unanswered questions. Questions that go beyond money and strike at the very heart of democracy. This is not just about tax. This is about power. This is about who truly makes the laws in Nigeria. And this is about the lies hidden in plain sight. The Tinubu administration sold the new tax law as a necessary medicine. Officials said Nigeria was bleeding revenue. Few subsidy removal were not enough. The country needed the discipline, structure, and sacrifice. We were told the tax laws that were debated and approved by the parliament. Proper legislative procedures were followed. The laws were signed with the public's best interests at heart. Everyone must contribute. Government spokesman said, hard choices must be made. Other countries do it, and we must adapt. For many Nigerians already struggling with inflation, few hikes, and a volatile naira, the message was simple: endure now, benefit later. But behind the clean narrative, cracks began to appear. The first hints came from lawmakers themselves. Some members of the National Assembly claimed that sections of the tax law being enforced were not exactly what they had approved, not reversed, not amended in debates, but different. And this raised the first question: can a law change after Parliament passes it? Parliament had debated, amended, and approved versions of the law. But as the January 1st enforcement began, whispers turned into statements. Sections of the law being implemented had clauses not debated or voted on. The public copy of the law was unavailable. Lawmakers requested that the gazetted version, the official text, be released so Nigerians could compare what Parliament passed with what the executive signed. If everything was transparent, why the confusion? If everything was legal, why the delay in publishing the official document? This is the first lie. The government claimed that the law was properly passed, but the facts told another story. Some legal analysts argue that this discrepancy is more than clinical error. It is a reflection of the growing executive overreach in Nigerians' democracy. When a law can be changed quietly, after debate, the balance of power shifts silently but profoundly. The government wants Nigerians to believe this is only an economic issue. It is not. Tax laws are political tools. They define who bears the burden first, who is protected, who has influence over citizens. When taxes increase without transparency, they become instruments of control, not development. And here is the political reality. If the executive can quietly push through disputed laws, if Parliament reacts after implementation, if courts refuse to intervene, then the message is clear. The government is testing how much pressure the people can endure, quietly, legally, and without visible conflict. The tax law is no longer just about money. It is a statement. The executive controls the process and citizens must adjust. Perhaps the loudest sound in this saga is silence. Where is the opposition? No emergency press conference, no nationwide consultations, no unified resistance. Instead, the loudest voices came from students, civil groups, and ordinary Nigerians. But political parties concerned about alliance and the 2027 general elections have remained largely mute. Only few speaks in fraction. This silence exposes a larger lie. Nigeria has a strong opposition ready to defend its citizens. The tax law revealed a political weakness as much as an economic one. When Nigeria turned to the courts for relief, hoping for clarity, the judiciary refused to halt implementation, not because the questions were answered, but because the court said the legal threshold for intervention was not met. To many, this felt like procedures defeating justice. Once a law is implemented, resistance becomes harder, damage becomes normalized, urgency disappears, the system moves on, leaving citizens to adjust. The tax law affects everyone. Salary workers face new deductions. Businesses navigate additional compliance costs. Entrepreneurs confront higher regulatory barriers. But the political stakes are just as high. Institutions appear weaker. Citizens feel powerless. Protests may erupt without warning. This is how democracy erodes, not in revolutions, but in small, quiet measures like January 1st. Tax law also exposes broader political maneuvering. The executive demonstrates control. The legislature appears reactive, not positive. Opposition parties fail to mobilize. Observers argue that this is a preview of Nigerians' politics leading to 2027. If laws can change after passage, what stops electoral rule adjustments, emergency powers, or other controversial reforms? The tax law is the test case, and the people are the unwritten participants. Globally, countries often adjust laws quietly, but in mature democracy, legislative transparency is maintained. Citizens are informed. Courts provide checks. In Nigeria, none of these safeguards fully functioned in this case. Experts warn that Nigeria risks normalizing executive dominance under the guise of reform, weakening democratic principles. On the ground, social media is alert with anger and confusion. Students protest in multiple states. Civil society groups demand clarification, yet the mainstream politicians largely remain silent, calculating electoral moves and alliances. The silence itself is part of the story. It signals acceptance of executive overreach as inevitable. Today, it is tax law. Tomorrow, it could be electoral rules, emergency economic powers, security legislatures, media regulations. The danger is precedent. Laws enforced before consensus, institutions reacting after the fact, citizens expected to comply silently. This is not reform, this is conditioning. The lies in Nigerians' new tax laws are not just about money, they are about truth, power, and control. So, we must ask, did Nigeria just witness reform or a quiet test of how much pressure citizens can absorb? Did Parliament lose control or did it surrender it? And most importantly, if Nigerians accept this without answers, what comes next? Democracy does not collapse overnight. It erodes in small, quiet moments like January 1st. The lies in Nigerians' new tax law are a warning, not about money, not about inconvenience, but about who controls Nigeria's future.